Okay, so let's start at the beginning. What exactly is this gravity simulator? It sounds pretty intense.
Right, so it's like this multiplayer VR environment. It's basically an N-body simulator, if you've heard of that.
And body. Okay, I'm not sure I have.
Basically, imagine every single object in space, right? Planets, stars, even tiny asteroids. They all have gravity and pull on each other. An N-body simulator, it calculates all those forces, all those interactions. It's kind of like a huge cosmic dance.
So it's not just like watching a movie. You're actually seeing how things would move based on real physics.
Right. You can change things up, put in different objects, and see what happens. It's not pre-programmed, it's dynamic. And one of the coolest things is you can change the scale of what you're looking at.
Scale, what do you mean?
So you can zoom in and out, like way in and out. They have these levels, 1x, 10x, 100x, and even 500x. You can experience gravity on scales that are hard to even imagine. From tiny moons like Enceladus, which is just a few hundred miles across, to gigantic stars like Betelgeuse, which is so massive that if it were in our solar system, it would swallow up Jupiter.
No way.
Yeah.
What about the multiplayer aspect?
That's where it gets really interesting, especially for education. It means that students and teachers, no matter where they are in the world, can connect in this virtual space and explore gravity together.
Wow, that's amazing. Talk about bringing classrooms together.
It really does open up some incredible possibilities for collaborative learning.
One thing that really stood out to me in the sources was the emphasis on the 3D gravity visualization. I remember in school, we used that analogy of a bowling ball on a stretched sheet to explain gravity.
The classic spandex sheet analogy.
Right. But this sounds like it takes things a step further.
It does. The spandex sheet is a good starting point, but it's limited because it's only two-dimensional. Gravity Simulator, on the other hand, lets you see the warping of space-time in 3 dimensions.
So like a 3D movie, but for gravity?
Kind of. You see these objects, planets and stars, sucking in the space around them, creating these dynamic warping effects that move and change as the objects move.
So it's not just a static image, it's this constantly evolving, dynamic representation of gravity.
Exactly. It's a much more accurate and intuitive way to understand how gravity actually works in the real world.
What other examples are there?
Well, they've also included some Earth science in there. So you can explore our own planet, zoom in, and look at things like plate tectonics, volcanoes. You can even see simulations of stellar vampirism, which is kind of a crazy concept, but
Yeah.
one star is actually pulling matter off of another star. It's a pretty dramatic illustration of some complex astrophysical processes.
This reminds me of something else too. Didn't scientists actually detect gravitational waves a while back, those ripples in space-time, right?
Yes, from those colliding black holes. And you know what? You can see those in the simulator too. It's mind-blowing, like you're watching Einstein's theories come to life right there in front of you.
So it's not just about watching, is it? You can actually interact with all this.
Oh yeah, you're not just observing, you're experimenting. You can put in different objects, planets, stars, black holes, even whole star systems. You can make them collide, see what happens when a star goes supernova. It's like a cosmic playground.
That's crazy. It's like a video game, but instead of fighting, you're like building galaxies and triggering supernovas.
Exactly. And if you're more into the real side of things, they even have the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram in there.
The HR diagram. Okay, that's one for the astronomy nerds.
It is, but it's really cool. You can pick stars right off the diagram, which tells you all about their brightness and temperature and stuff, and drop them into your simulation. You want to see what happens when a red giant slams into a neutron star? Go ahead, do it. It's incredible.
Man, I wish they had this when I was in school.